And as with all the previous eruptions, hundreds of people are expected to flock to the volcano to see that eruption in person. Jessica Ferracane with the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park joins us live right now from inside the park with what you need to know. And Jessica, it's so good to have you. This is very exciting.
Thank you. Yes, it is a really exciting time, and we are expecting to see thousands and thousands of people actually now that the news is out about this really exciting, spectacular eruption.
So we're showing the video as we're talking to you right now. As we saw earlier, the vantage point of the caldera, very, very tall fountains. And we were saying the fountains earlier, when it first erupted, reached as high as 200 feet in the air.
Yeah, I think that has probably gone down a little bit, but there's still some fountaining happening out there. Right now, the viewing areas, anywhere really along the edge of Crater Rim Trail that you can have a vantage point of Kilauea, is going to be a really good place to watch this current eruption. Now, that said, even though we're in the early phases of being super excited about this eruption, people are going to be flocking here. A couple things to keep in mind: there are hazards with any volcanic eruption. We have a lot of gas coming out of the volcano right now. I don't know if you can see my screensaver behind me, but there is a giant plume of SO2 and water vapor, etc. So we are urging people, as always, to stay on trail, stay out of closed areas, and also consider visiting the park at an off time. The park is open 24 hours a day. We are predicting we are going to be extremely crowded around sunset and as it gets darker later in the day today.
Now, aside from where to view the volcano and all the activity, what else type of etiquette should people know in terms of viewing the parking situation too?
Yeah, just, if you visit the park, bring your park pass, but also bring your aloha. We're standing up our eruption crew right now. So we will have rangers out to help with parking, to let the entrance station know when parking areas are closed. So just be friendly, not only to the people in your car, but the people who are directing your car where to park. We'd appreciate that. Drive slowly, obey signs. And if you come during the peak hours, like let's say, right around sunset or even earlier tonight through after 8 o'clock, expect to wait for parking. You can expect to probably wait to get into the park as well.
So, Jessica, I know that you touched on the gases created from the volcano and the eruption. That's a major concern. And I know a lot of the residents there, they've seen this before. But for those who are coming for maybe the first time, visitors, what other things should they know in case they have respiratory issues? This is something that they haven't probably seen before.
Yeah, right now we have really good, consistent trade wind weather. That's super helpful. So it's blowing those volcanic gases more towards the southwest. So most of the viewing areas along the crater rim are not impacted by bad gas. That can change in the blink of an eye. If the wind direction changes, if the winds back off, those volcanic gases can kind of pancake up here at the summit. So anybody with respiratory illness, heart illness, pregnant women, young children, they should avoid the area during periods of bad air quality.
And, just to wrap up the interview, I know you have a lot on your plate right now. What else is being closely monitored in terms of the summit? Earlier, we spoke saying that there is no threat to the community, which is good news. What other things are being looked at currently?
Right now, the lava is completely confined within Halima'umau. As you said earlier, it is not impacting any homes or any kind of park infrastructure or anything like that. But USGS scientists, as well as park staff, are always keeping an eye on the number of earthquakes happening, any kind of crater wall collapses. As the gases rise and as the lava rises, you can have, edges of the crater wall will slough off and fall into the lava lake. So we keep an eye on all of that. We work so closely with our partners at USGS. They really let us know of any hazards that could be around the corner.
And then, lastly, I did say last question, but I do want to ask this very last one. How are you guys communicating with the community? I know you guys are in talks with USGS, but how else getting the message out to the community?
Yeah, well, we have a communications office, so we sent out a news release already. We have a park website, which is the best place for the community to go, for park visitors to go, and that is nps.gov/Hawaii Volcanoes. So we have just very shortly after the eruption today, we already had our eruption viewing tips and safety tips up on the park website. And of course, our social media too, Hawaii Volcanoes NPS. So those are great places to keep monitoring as this situation evolves with Kilauea.
Lots of things that are happening right now. We appreciate the value information. And of course, Jessica, we appreciate your time. Jessica with the National Park Service.